are you a hobbyist or are you a business owner? One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone asks me, what I do, and I say that I'm a full-time artist or I'm a professional artist, I'm a working artist. They'll say, "Ooh, you're an artiste," That's very condescending. It's almost like it's making a joke out of it. It's like if you ask somebody, what they did for a living and they said, "Well, I'm a doctor," and you said, "Ooh, you're a doctor," it's very condescending. So if you're watching this and you're not an artist, but you support artists, don't say that. It's not a nice thing. Anyway, the other thing that some people will say is, "Oh, I can do that too, but I don't have time. I have a real job." Or, "What is your real job?" We've all heard these things before, and it can be very discouraging and frustrating because people look at things like art and music and, though I'm not part of this crowd, actors, they look at it as more of a, just a hobby, just something you do for fun. Because a lot of people do. They love to dabble in paint or they love to draw, but they don't think of it as something that you can actually make a living from. But what does it mean to be in a career? It means you have a skill, and art is a skill. So if you have that skill and you want to do this as your career, you have to think of this as a business. And I will tell you, in my own personal experience, just a few years ago, my husband, we've been married for over 34 years. He's always been supportive of my art. But there's the majority of our marriage, I've had to work some kind of side job to help contribute because we are business owners. My husband is a builder and we own a construction company. And so, we have that. And that was majority of our income came from that. So I would always take some kind of job on the side, but I always knew in my head, I'm an artist. I need to be painting and creating. That's what I'm good at. So most of the jobs that I would take were either they allowed me the time that I could do commissions or murals or things such as that on the side, or they allowed me creative freedom. So I'll just list a few of the things that I've done. I was a makeup artist for several cosmetic companies, a manager for cosmetic companies in the stores. And so I figured, well, if I can't paint faces, I can paint faces, literally. And so it was something that I felt was a creative outlet, but it never quite fulfilled everything that I really wanted to do. Because deep down inside, I knew who I was. I've known it my entire life that that's who I was an artist, and that was the direction I wanted to head. I would barter, I remember renting, when I was single, I rented from a couple who owned a jewelry store, and I painted their outdoor mural on the side of their building, advertising their jewelry store in lieu of my rent, which was kind of cool. I bartered with hairstylists. I bartered with, I can't even think of all the different ones that I bartered with. Not selling, but that's how I would get my work out. That's how I paid for things. Anyway, just a few years ago, my husband said to me, "You know what?" He said, we need you to go back to working. You're doing your art, but you're not doing it. It's not enough, because I'd get a portrait or I'd get a mural, and like I said, a couple months go by and then not do anything. And so he told me, he said, you need to stop thinking of it or treating it like a hobby. You need to start thinking of this as a legitimate business. And that really jarred me, kind of woke me up. And I realized he was right. It was my own mental block. You have to get it out of your head that you just do this for fun or that you just do this as a hobby. You have to realize you are in business. So, what do? You start treating yourself as a business, even if no one else does, even if other people call you an artiste or not having a real job. You need to get out of your own way, which is what I had to do. I figured, oh, well, I'm successful because I sell a few pieces once in a while. But no, nobody knew me. Nobody knew my name. A few friends, knew that I did this, but they didn't know I did it for a living or that I wanted to do it for a living. They were just like, oh, yeah, she draws. So you have to decide, am I going to do this as a business? Because now your name is your brand. If you are in business, your name is your brand. So you have to get your name out there. How do you do that? Oh, what do businesses do? They set up websites. Social media is nice, but it's not the end all to end all. A website is necessary if you want to be treated seriously. You cannot have anonymity if you want to be a professional artist. I have met those who paint and draw, but they don't want their name on it. They just want to give their stuff away. They're not professional artists. They are not in the business of art. And just because you see somebody's art in a gallery doesn't mean they're in the business of art. There are some people that's just as a hobby, they get into a gallery and they hang their paintings there, and they may never sell or they may sell occasionally. They're not looking to make a living from it. I'm talking about those of you, and you know who you are, who are out there who really want to do this for a living. You have the skill, you just need to sell. So, website. You're an artist, you can design your own website. I don't care how non-tech savvy that you think you are. There are wonderful sites that are out there that can help you design a website, even for free. I've switched different carriers. I bought my domain, so it's michellelavaniart.com. That I own. And I can switch the providers that I decide to use. I have done Shopify, I've done Faso, I've done Wix, I've tried different ones. And right now I'm pretty happy with the one that I have, which is squaredup.com. It's the one that originally, for sales where you had the plug-in with your phone. So when I did shows or whatever, I could take a card. Well, they teamed up with Wix, and now they have a website. And they even have a free one. So if you just want to test it out, I'll put the link below. I'm not getting any credit for this. I don't have any affiliate stuff. I just tell you what I use and what I've found satisfying. Faso is another great site, and I had it for many years. It's wonderful, but I felt that the other, actually, for the way that I was going with my business, it fit me better with Squared Up. Anyway, not Square, but Squared Up. Anyhow, the other thing is business cards. You must have business cards. Again, you can design them yourselves. You're an artist. This is a skill that you have. Play around with it. Even if you're not quite comfortable with technology or whatever, it's not as hard as you think it is. You have to get it out of your head. You have to treat this as a business. If you need help designing, things like Vistaprint, it's really, really easy to design your own card, upload things, especially these days. Most of us have programs on our devices that enables us to get good clear pictures, and then we can upload it to it. But ask for help from a friend. Trade something if you need to. That's where you need to barter. But definitely have business cards. Another thing that I really like is, well, let me show you my business cards first before I move on to what I really like. So these are my latest business cards. I change them up once in a while. I don't know if you can see that. My husband says it's pretty busy, but I put a lot of pictures in there. They're tiny, but I wanted people to see that I do people portraits and animal portraits and murals. So I have a variety of different things in this card. But on the back, I have a QR code. All this stuff, like the QR code, free. Vistaprint will provide you a QR code if you need that, but QR code, so when somebody scans it, if they don't want to take the card, because there's some people that's like, I don't want to carry a card, but I want your information. All they have to do is scan this and it'll take them to a link with all my information. And they can follow me on social media, or they can contact me, my email, my phone number, everything's on there. You don't even have to put your email or your phone number on cards anymore if you've got a QR code. That's all you have to do. But I like to do it anyway because some people don't know what a QR code is. So you want to be able to sell to the masses. Anyway, the other thing, I say anyway a lot. I've noticed that in editing my videos. Anyway, another thing I like having is a name badge. Now this is a little magnetic name badge. I have several of them. So got the little magnet. And so when I go places, especially if I'm there as an artist, I'll wear it. But you know what? You can wear it anytime. You can wear it to the grocery store if you want. And they see your name and they see artist. It will start conversations. That's what you have to think about. You are now an artist. Put the badge on. Wear it. You're an artist. You let people know. People need to know who you are. They need to know your name, which is your brand. If they talk to you about it, give them your business card. There you go. You've got a lead. That's how you get leads. And the thing is, even if somebody doesn't buy something from you right away, it's not like I go into the grocery store and they say, oh, I need a portrait. They take the information and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm looking to get something, as a gift for somebody. It's like 3 months away, but, can I have your card? Sure. Or you get another follower on social media, whatever. You're spreading the word. You have to pound the pavement when it comes to things like that. So having a badge is a great thing. You might have seen my little video that I made, my little short video that I made this week. Ducks. So I own a Jeep. There's two things that I've done. So on the back of my Jeep is a big tire. Perfect opportunity to advertise. So I ordered a tire cover and I created it. It was very simple to create with my artwork, all my contact information, a QR code, and people see me. People know my Jeep. And I know that because people tell me, oh, I saw you out. Or when you're at a location where there's a special art event or something like that, you've got people that are already there. They see your car in the parking lot and they're like, oh, that's the artist that was in there. I saw her. And they remember your name because your name is your brand. I can't say that enough. Think about it, the way marketing actually is. Let's say you need a plumber. Well, we used to thumb through the yellow pages, right? And we might Google a local plumber. But if you've seen billboards with a plumber name on it, or commercials with a plumber's name on it, you don't know what their reputation is, but automatically their name comes to your mind. You don't know how good they are. You know nothing about them. You don't know if they're the best priced. You don't know any of that information until you research them. But you start researching them because you heard their name. Their name is the first one that comes to mind. So when a friend says to you, hey, I need a plumber, you're like, oh, what about such and such? I saw their billboard or I saw their truck. That name comes to mind. Same way with art. People don't know how good of an artist that you are. You may not be a good artist, but your name is out there because you've marketed. I hate to say it like that. You are a good artist. I'm talking to you. You're a good artist. But you know that there are those that are out there that are really not good artists, but you see their name everywhere. And maybe they sell a lot because they market a lot. People associate the fact that your name is out there with how good you are. So let them look you up. If they don't call you, that's, maybe you're not their style, or you're out of their price range or below their price range. Some people don't call because they think, oh, their prices are low, they may not be that good. Keep that in mind for a future video, honestly. Anyway, the other thing, there we go. Anyway, the other thing I started doing, because I own a Jeep, there's this little culture thing with Jeep owners called Duck Duck Jeep. So the first time it happened to me, I thought somebody was pranking me. I went out to my Jeep and it was in our neighborhood, and somebody had put a rubber ducky on my windshield, and I'm like, what in the world? So it had a hashtag written on it, and I looked it up, and then I found out that it's like a game that Jeepers play, in that they give a rubber duck to somebody else who has a Jeep that they really like. So if they really liked your Jeep, they give you a rubber duck. And so you'll see, if you didn't know about this, you'll see rows of ducks on people's dashes when they're Jeep owners. A lot of Jeep owners collect ducks. And it's like, well, how many ducks you have shows how nice your Jeep is. So I decided to order my own ducks. And I got these little ones. It took me a while to research, but I got these little ones, little artists. Aren't they cute? There's 3 different designs of them. And I write my name on the back. And I ordered these from Vistaprint. So that's basically the front of my business card. And on the back, you've been ducked. And then the hashtag for Duck Duck Jeep, so that they can post. And this QR code is for me. That's for my business. And then I ask them to tag me in their post. So I put these on other Jeeps that I like. Do I know that that's where some of my business is coming from? I really don't. It's like scattering seeds. When you scatter seeds, you don't know where things are going to pop up. I used to ask people, how did you find me? And you'll hear all sorts of things, sometimes word of mouth, sometimes Google search. Sometimes they saw my work at a show or a gallery or something like that. You have no idea where it's going to come from, and that's a good thing. But I used to ask people. I quit asking anymore because it comes from all different places, and I'm perfectly satisfied to just keep it going however it is. It's not as important to me anymore. Might be important for you to find out, though, if you're just starting out, because you can kind of figure out what works and what doesn't work. The other thing about actually starting a legitimate business is you do want to file legally. So file for your EIN number, which is an easy thing to do. You can go online. It's a tax thing. Make sure you do not have to pay for it. It is free. It is through the IRS, so don't go to anything except for the government website, because there are some people who's like, we'll help you get your EIN number and we'll charge you whatever. It's free. You go on to the IRS site, and so it would end in .gov. If it's a .com or anything else, they want to charge you money, so don't go to that. Anyway, I gotta quit that. That is worse than Okay. So make sure that you do set up your business mentally now. You've got it in your head. Okay, I have a website, I have business cards, I have an EIN number. I've decided whether I'm going to be an LLC or whether I'm going to be a sole proprietor. Make all of those decisions. Those you can talk to an accountant about. I know I'm not good with numbers. That's just a thing for me. And that's a mental block that I have. We won't go into that. But if you don't feel proficient in something that is outside of your expertise with art, then do talk to a professional about getting the right thing for you. I am not that person to talk to you about your legal things. So my husband and I already own a business, and I do murals under the LLC. It's required, and we have to have insurance when I do things like that. So little things like that. Do research and get the ins and outs of those kind of things. But the thing is you really just need to focus on the fact that you are not a hobbyist. You are an artist. And what's the saying? Fake it till you make it. Well, you don't have to fake the fact you're an artist, but you do need to sell yourself as a professional artist. You have started a business, and you need to treat it like that. So, your schedule. You should have a business schedule. If you were working for someone, you would get up in the morning, you would go to work, you would come home, you would take a lunch break, you would take breaks. That's the one thing I have to learn. Then you would come home, and you have your weekends perhaps, or maybe you work weekends, whatever your schedule is. Businesses also have a budget. Now, I'm not talking about the spending budget. I'm also talking about the income. They expect a certain thing. So they set a goal, set a business goal, have a business plan, download a business plan, work on that. You are a business. Start treating it as a business. You are not just a, artist that's just painting. Treat it as a business. You are a brand. I'm going to say this over and over and over again because that is the one thing that hung me up for so long. Once I started realizing that, it was like a light switched for me. And I realized that I was serious and I needed other people to take me seriously. I was frustrated when people didn't take me seriously, but it was because I wasn't taking myself seriously. So now I have a schedule. I know what my days are. I know each day what I'm going to do. I have a board, I'm looking at it right now, with my calendar on it, my daily projects, my commissions. I have all my contracts. And that's the thing. You also have to learn to write a contract. We will deal with all of these in future videos. I will talk to you specifically about some of these little things. But I know it may sound overwhelming, but it's really not as hard as you think it is. It's just that mental thing of getting over the fact that you're not just creating, you're running a business. You're a business owner, a small business owner. I'm going to list some books below because I truly believe in learning from other people's experiences. And there's several books that I have read that have taught me a lot about the business of art. So I will be listing those below. And hopefully they will help you as well. Many books are available on audio. And for me, I love audiobooks because I can listen to them while I'm painting. And I learn so much from that, from doing audio. And here's a little tip. A lot of audiobooks are free on YouTube. So look on YouTube. If there's a book that you really want to hear, there's a lot of audiobooks that are completely free, legally free on YouTube. And it doesn't have to be necessarily business for art, but just running a business. Also, another nice tip before I close this out is that I believe it's important to start locally. That was one of the hang-ups that I had for a long time. It's like I wanted to get big, especially when social media came out. I was like, oh, I can reach people from all over the world to sell my art. So it's like, you're thinking you've got this huge ocean and you're just thinking, oh, I'll sell to everywhere and everyone. Think small first. Things start small and grow. They don't start big. They start small and they grow. So think locally. Don't just think about social media. Join your local art guild. They're going to help you with shows and events. Look at those meetings as business meetings, not social gatherings, but business meetings. Take notes, learn from other artists. Pay attention to the ones who are in business as artists, not just hobbyists. Now, the hobbyist you might learn some artistic skills from that, you can learn something from everyone. But there's a lot of people that I know that are wonderful artists, like I said, and I have taken courses from, or, actually, courses are usually by professional artists, but I have gotten many tips in my art skills from some of these ones. But really, if you're thinking business-wise, talk to the ones who are doing it full-time. But get to know them locally. Get involved with that art guild and treat it as business meetings. And then, you are getting your name out locally. Don't worry about statewide. Don't worry about, even county. Think about your local community. You can even start small. I know in our neighborhood, we have a local Facebook group, and most of our neighbors, are very supportive of each other's businesses. Get it out. Let them know. I've done live painting on my porch and invited my neighbors and sold work. Start small. From there, it will grow. So don't think about the big picture. Just think small and locally first. Those are my tips. Those are things that have worked for me. You may have a different experience, or there may be another artist out there who is successful, and maybe they have a completely different experience. I'm just sharing my own personal experience and the things that I've had to overcome, and how I am able to now work at this completely full time. My schedule is pretty packed, and I am very thankful for all of the wonderful collectors and clients that reach out to me. They allow me to do what I love, and I wish that kind of success for you, because if you connect with me and you know what I'm talking about, where you know deep down inside who you are as an artist and this is what you want to do, and you've got that itch that just you gotta scratch when it comes to being creative, whether you are an art teacher, or whether you are a gallery artist, or whether you're a muralist or a digital artist, all of those kind of things. You're a creative person. If this is what you want to do, take yourself seriously. Don't worry about everybody else. You take yourself seriously first, and then that block will be out of the way and other people will take you seriously. So anyway, that's my advice for today. And I said anyway again. Hey, count how many times I say anyway in this video and post it down below. I'm just curious. All right, well, have a great day. I'm going to get back to my painting, and I will see you soon.